Emily with MSense. I am here to help you understand your pain and maybe give you a couple techniques and breathing exercises that might help you feel with your pain. I know that's kind of a different idea, but sometimes we need to feel our pain in order to know how to work with our pain and ease our pain. A lot of times our pain is associated with a physical element, but also there is a mental, emotional, and possibly a spiritual element to it as well. For 15 plus years, I have worked with massage therapy. I've been a massage therapist, but I've also worked in different techniques and modalities related to pain management. I worked in a clinic where we actually worked with trauma and the different levels of pain. And sometimes pain goes beyond just that physical element, just the 3D realm. Sometimes it goes much deeper, and just like an example, like with PTSD, sometimes you can go pain-free for a long time and something will trigger that pain, that memory of the pain, and it's almost like the pain comes back like a phantom pain. I know there's a lot of discussion whether phantom pains are real or not. During my pain journey, I had a lot of people tell me that that's not possible, but when I was working in massage therapy and at the spas, there was a lot of people who did understand that different element. So it was nice to work with people who did have that understanding of that psychosomatic response, and a lot of the energetic and spiritual aspects of it. A lot of different topics. If you ever have any questions, feel free to make a comment below, and I would be happy to help you on your pain journey. I don't want to get into too much of the details, but my pain did revolve around a traumatic pregnancy. And around that, there is a lot of emotions that go into it, along with your hormone system, along with many different elements. But the fact remains is I had damage to my body. And it is once said that once you tear into the body, once you cut into the body, you will never be 100%. But I don't want anyone to believe that they're broken. We can always come back and strive for near perfection. And so in my pain journey, I did find many different techniques that seemed to help work with the pain. But that wasn't until after I had sat with my pain for so long. I tried the pain medications. I tried the different techniques and therapies. I tried aggressive therapies. As a massage therapist, I tell all of my patients, don't go too harsh, too fast. And of course, I did that as well. After a while, you just get so frustrated with pain. You're like, I'm already in pain. Why not throw more at it? Maybe that'll help. And it doesn't. But I guess I would like to just start by adding breathing. So because my pain was in my waist, I noticed that sometimes wearing tight clothing, sometimes wearing the things that I thought would help, say like tight compression leggings and stuff like that to hold me in. It helped for some time, but then it almost did the opposite after a while. And so when we do these exercises, I feel it's best to make sure we are as comfortable as possible. Sweats, leggings, house coats, I mean, even getting down into wearing like those long muumuus. Whatever comfortable, you do you. Have lots of blankets around. Sometimes propping up is always beneficial because you want to take as much tension off of the space. When we start getting into scar tissue therapy and myofascial work and stuff like that, you just need to be comfortable. So having an oil or a lotion, I do prefer oil, but some people don't like the feel of oil on their fingers, so you're more than welcome to use a lotion. Sometimes there's salves and balms. Like, use whatever feels best for you because this is your body and you are the one who is in control here. I'm just giving you the tips and guidelines and maybe a little education on why or how to do some of these things. But first, let's just find our breath. So it's kind of a basic yogic breath. I like to place my hand on my lower belly. And if you can, breathing in through your nostrils and filling up your belly as if it were a balloon. So you almost want to imagine that there's a balloon expanding in your stomach. Allowing your stomach to completely relax. I think we're always brought up to maybe hold ourselves as straight as we can, to maybe even hold tension into the abdomen. But we want to completely release and let go, almost as if we're dropping our belly. Breaths. Maybe bring both hands down to the belly. You may hear some digestive noises, and that's good. That means that everything's starting to relax in there. Abdominal muscles so tight it compresses all the organs, and they don't really get a chance to kind of freely move about in there. So sometimes giving it this space and this moment will get the flow going. If you're sitting in a cross-legged position like I am, if that is not comfortable, you are welcome to put your legs out in front of you, propping how you feel comfortable. I prefer a harder bolster and then a softer one underneath. You can also take rolled up towels, pillows, blankets. You can even take a blanket or a pillow rolled up underneath your knee if you're extending your legs. If you're laying on your back, sometimes it's best to have something under your knees. Otherwise, I also have a chair here that works very well to elevate your feet. It also gets a lot of blood pumping up to the heart and to the head, which helps your central nervous system kind of reset itself a little bit. It's similar to legs up the wall, but it's a little bit more assisted for low back and or hip and leg issues. So a chair is always a great option. Putting a cushion or a pillow, even a blanket on top of the chair helps so that it's a little bit more comfortable for you to lay here for extended periods of time. I've also taught a restorative yoga practice where we hold a lot of poses for a very long time and do some guided meditations, which is where this practice comes from. Like I said, when I was on my pain journey, there were times where I was just at the end of the day, I was just so exhausted. And so just coming to find my breath really helped. So throughout this series, I would like to show you a couple of different techniques that just help us feel our pain and then hopefully find ways that help you work with your pain and maybe even find the root of the pain so that you can help. Depends on if you come from the school of thought, but your body does talk back to you, and sometimes people who do have gifts, we all have them, it's just whether we listen to them. But sometimes our gifts will actually tell us what is going on. And for me, it worked once I sat down and listened. I heard what my body needed, and then I could go and actually seek that out. And I found a very good surgeon that could help me find my problem. And I was very grateful in the fact that I did listen to myself. It took me some time. And I was able to get the surgery that I needed. And when the surgeon got in there, he told me what I already knew. And it was just amazing to kind of have that validation that you feel this, and it's, you go for second, third, fourth opinions, and these doctors may tell you, we can't find anything on tests or ultrasounds or, all these different things. And medication is your route, and the medication sometimes leaves you feeling even more confused about the situation, adding to more issues. And so finding a way to listen to your body really, really helps. I do find that most of the time when I was in my deepest pain, I found the deepest answers. So I'm actually going to have, if you have the space, let's lie down and try and feel our pain. By taking away the weight of holding our body up, it will help us to really just zone in and focus on that one space. So wherever your pain is, this does not have to be just, feminine related, endometriosis, cystic ovarian issues. This can be any scar tissue. This can be any area of your body. I will be holding here because this is where mine always is. And even though my problem has been mainly resolved, I still get cycles and pain in the same areas. And I sometimes find they're around the anniversary of certain traumatic issues, or that that emotional situations similar to certain different traumas in my life will bring them up in that area because it's kind of my weakness. And so learning and knowing myself that way has really helped me to see the cycle of my body, but also work with it and give my body what it needs and nourish my body. So I hope the same for you. So let's come down to our backs. I am going to put my legs up on this pillow. I do have a blanket nearby if need be. Actually, I'm going to use that for a pillow. I hope you can see me. So we're just going to take a breath, and I want your left hand to stay down on your belly and your right hand up on your heart. So we're just going to kind of connect our energy centers together. If anyone's familiar with the chakras, that's the energy centers I'm speaking of. Coming back to that big belly breath. In and out through our nostrils if you can. Sometimes we get congested. If you can't lay on your back, laying with an elevated pillow or like one of those triangle shaped pillows works great for this as well. And with every exhale, we're going to just sink into the cushions a little bit more. Every time you sink down, if you need to adjust to make sure you feel as relaxed as possible, please do so. Wiggle the hips a little bit and see if they fall into a more comfortable position. In the arms, if you need more pillows or bolsters or cushions, feel free to grab them. Sometimes by the end of these, I will have the pillow or the couch cushions and stuffed animals. I've even used my kids'
stuffed toys and snakes and stuff like that too. Use your imagination as long as you're comfortable. Feel your heartbeat. Let your heart know you love them. Allow your breath to fall into a rhythm. Now let's take our left hand and place it on the area of pain, if you can reach it comfortably. Now I want you to bring your right hand to your heart. So right now just feel your pain. Sink into that floor a little bit more. And almost feel as if you see your pain in your mind's eye. Sometimes you'll see colors or you'll see shapes. And like we're using battery posts on your car battery. One hand is the positive, one hand is the negative. And our arms and our hands are relaying the energy back and forth. So instead of our body sending us pain signals that we almost need to listen to and feel, in a way we're letting our heart speak to our pain, letting it know we feel it. We know it's there. In the beginning of this journey, sometimes your body will fight against the relaxation. If you think your pain, think of it this way, your pain built up a wall all the way around it. And so when you try and relax, that wall takes a little bit more to break it down, to allow the messages to get through. tensing up, just go back to breathing into the tension. It may not happen right away. And sometimes you'll have flashes of memories. Or trauma responses come back up to the surface. And that's okay, that's part of the process. It took a lot of avoidance to get me to notice the pain. I was always doing for everyone else and forgot to take the time to listen to myself and my body. So it might take a few tries just to even feel and get to know the pain and why it's there. We can always learn something from every experience in life, but if we don't take the time to listen, we won't hear what the lesson is and we won't receive the blessing. Start to feel any increased pain while you're laying like this, please come out of the position. But if you can lay here a little bit longer, it's always good just to listen. And you may not hear anything, or you might get a lot of stuff coming to the surface. Does come to the surface, try and give it the space with no judgment. Allow all of that to come up to the surface. And if you really want to dive deep into the root of the cause, you can journal those ideas or those images when you get up. Maybe when you do this practice, having a notebook handy would help. Allow that area to relax. Sometimes you're going to feel tearing feelings, or even, I know sometimes I would feel like almost this clawing feeling coming from inside the tissue. And your fascia does, it holds on so tight to our emotions and to our pain, but as it releases, it's almost just as painful, if not more. Just allow that to pass and breathe into it. I know you can do it because you made it this far. Very big breaths, filling up that belly, and send all of that energy down into your area of pain. Bringing both hands down to the belly so that you're back to feeling that full balloon feeling. And on the exhale, releasing further into the ground. Allowing that energy and intention to go into that area where your pain holds you back. heart filling up in our belly, just like the balloon, and we're going to send it right down to the core of our pain. And exhale. Start out in getting in touch with your pain. Any emotions that came up, any ideas or concepts, just to think about them over the next day or up until you do this video again. We're going to wiggle our fingers and our toes, move our wrists and our ankles. Slowly come up to seated. Moving the hips a little bit, especially if you had a chair. You want to wiggle the knees back and forth, kind of like a windshield wiper. Sometimes when we get to these deep relaxation poses, we kind of stiffen up a little bit. Coming back up to seated.
Sometimes you'll notice a small subtle changes, whether the pain isn't as sharp, maybe even the pain changes a bit. Change in pain is a good thing sometimes. Sometimes it's not. I get that. I've been there. But just trying different techniques and different methods, even as subtle as this practice, can help give you just a little more insight. There's always different ways to track the pain. Journaling is, I have to say, one of the best. It helped me look back and see what cycles were related to what things. I mean, of course, because mine was pregnancy related, mine always came around on my son's birthday, the year of. For the first year, I actually had pains every single month, almost to the day, to the hour. That first month I did, and it was terrible. And it continued for a long time. I think it was 7 years before I actually found the root of the pain. And I kept going in saying, you know, we all have our own pain journey. But I kept going in saying, hey, I really feel there's something going on. I feel there's something going on. And it took a long time. And sometimes talking about my pain and processing it with other people who've been in the same situation as me guided me to find more answers for myself. So if you are going through anything like I did, please comment below, and I would love to talk with you and maybe help guide you in any way that I can. But find people who have gone through similar things. I thought that suppressing my story because, hey, women have babies every day. Why should my story be any different? But as I started getting over, that was the wall I put up around myself. As I started letting my wall down, I noticed the pain, my pain, the wall that I had built up around my pain started to release a little bit too. And then we can start healing, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And like I said, find the lessons and the blessings. And I am not saying that anyone deserves to be in pain, but it is always there to teach us something, even if it's patience and to listen and be grateful for this beautiful body and this beautiful life that we are given. So with that, I'm going to say namaste. Blessed be, and thank you for joining me. I hope to be adding more to this series and be showing you different techniques and tools that helped me on my journey through my pain. and maybe even share my story a little bit more, because I do feel that sharing our story or sharing a piece of us helps me heal, but it will also help you heal and find your journey through your pain. So thank you, and blessed be.